I've been gifted this little mechanism for making your own music box. You hole punch your tune into one of these strips and crank it through. So I need to make a wood box that this can be attached to and resonate through, and then I have to write a short bit of music for it to play. First order of business is ripping some walnut to width to make the sides of the box. I need grooves to hold the top and bottom, and it's easier to do now when it's all one piece. It's just a matter of making a pass along the bottom edge, checking the size, moving the fence over a hair, and running it through again until a piece of 1/4-inch plywood fits nicely inside. I'll do the same thing to make the groove for the top. For that, I have this beautiful piece of curly maple that even has a bit of ambrosia action in it.
Ambrosia maple isn't a species of wood. It refers to any maple that has been bored into by an ambrosia beetle. These insects tunnel into the tree, bringing with them ambrosia fungus, which is what causes the dark splotches seen in the wood. The beetles and the fungus are in a symbiotic relationship, enabling each of them to help the other obtain nutrients from the tree.
With both grooves cut, I'll put the table saw blade to 45 degrees and chop this into 4 sides with mitered corners. I have a piece of scrap behind the workpiece which will keep the blade from chipping out the walnut as it exits. Then I'll position the 4 sides together with tape. This will keep them aligned, so I can just put some glue on the joints and fold it all up. One of the sides is not being glued at this point. It's just there to keep things squared up during gluing. With the first 3 sides secure, the plywood bottom and maple top can be cut to fit the grooves. When the maple is the right width, I can figure out what portion of the ambrosia section to cut out for the top. I'll sneak up to the perfect dimensions, skimming off tiny bits until the top and bottom just slide right in. No glue required. Then a little glue on the 4th side, and we have a box, never to be opened. Next, I'll sand the whole thing and soften all the edges. I was really pacing in circles for a few days, trying to figure out what to do on the sides of the box. My first idea was some sort of intarsia or segmentation design of flowers and mushrooms and things like that. But then I thought I'd turn to my own nature photography for inspiration very often. And I like doing that, but maybe I should try something a little different this time. So I just started doing stuff with no definite plan. I found 3 thin boards of maple, cherry, and mahogany, and sent an edge through the router to put a chamfer on both sides of it. Then I cut off just that very edge to create these angular sticks. I still wasn't sure what to do with them, but I started cutting them into various lengths, and then I realized I could make something reminiscent of a sound wave. So I'll get them sized and arranged on the side of the box. Once I know what I'm using, I'll sand the ends to round them off and flatten them to a bit of a taper. This way they won't look all blocky and heavy. There was a fair bit of sanding involved, which was kind of tricky since the pieces are small, so my fingers also got a fair bit of sanding. I'll scribe a line where the long central one will be so I know where everything is going. Then I'll begin putting it together, starting with that one piece in the middle so I can have a solid base to build out from in each direction. I'm trying to use a minimal amount of glue in the center of each piece so there isn't tons of squeeze out around them. Then I went to blow off some dust, forgetting that these weren't actually attached. Anyway, I'm happy with how things are going. The sound wave design actually turned out better than I expected, so I can't wait to see it with some finish. For that, I'll wipe on some oil. That curly ambrosia maple is just so awesome. I feel bad that a large portion of it will be covered up, but it'll still look nice. Finally, I can drill some small pilot holes and attach the music box mechanism. Now that the box half of this music box has been completed, it's time to figure out the music portion. A few parameters. Music on one of these strips has to be within 2 octaves from C to C, and all diatonic C scale. And it has to fit within 52 beats. So I'll sit down at the piano and start plunking away until something happens. When I have something worked out, I'll write it on the paper strip. It took a little bit to get my bearings on this grid, but after a while it was easy to read and write quickly on it. Then I can carefully punch out each note, aligning its mark in the crosshairs on the little tool. I have a feeling I'm going to be finding these things in random places for the rest of my life. Here's how the finished music looks. And here's how it sounds. It's amazing how much a solid surface of any kind amplifies the sound. Here it is on its own. Then on a wood table. It's also surprisingly difficult to turn this thing at a steady tempo, but I suppose that's part of the charm. I had a few of these, so I also did a music box friendly arrangement of The Last Rose of Summer. This had a bit more punching, and the 16th note rhythms made for a few dense clusters, but it all came together.